Hi, my name is Alyssa,
And my name is Vanilla,
and for as long as I can remember, I have never been satisfied with the way I look.
and that's perfectly normal. We all have this experience at some point of our lives. There isn't a single person that have doubt in the way that they looked. I have doubted in the way that I looked, and it's not a really good feeling at all. So, you guys pay attention to what the main lesson of the video is supposed to be talking about.
I hated how my calves were too wide to fit into the boots that all the other girls had no problem wearing. I hated that squishy part under my chin that stuck out when I smiled on picture day.
You know, I actually have the same issue as well. This is why I don't normally smile with my teeth. I usually just smile with just my lips closed because it makes my face look more appealing. If any of you have that problem, with the whole, extra, you know, fat underneath your chin or jaw whenever you smile, that is a way that you could be more presentable if you want to do that. Again, that's only a recommendation. Yeah, whatever. Okay, let's continue.
And I hated shopping for new clothes, even if my current ones no longer fit me. Honestly, especially if my current clothes no longer fit me. Because, according to my childhood, that meant I was fat. And based on how I was treated as a kid for being fat, that 3-letter word brings back so many bad memories.
The interesting part is that a lot of the stuff we do in middle school usually changes the perspective and not only how we see other people in our lives, but the same way how we see ourselves. I mean, I've been in the situation where in middle school, yeah, I've been called things, I've called other people things. And from how I look at it now, not only that it has affected me, there's sometimes that I think that, yeah, maybe I have affected somebody else. And honestly, when it comes to anybody who's watching this video, and if you have ever been ridiculed, I don't know why that word was so difficult for me to say, never let that get in the way of achieving your own goals. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'm just gonna say the main topic of this video. The main topic of this video that, well, I'm making specifically is talking about how people would just glorify being fat and thinking that's okay. Now, there is no problem with being fat, because, well, why would there be? If I see a fat person right next to me, I'm not gonna judge them, I'm not gonna yell at them, I'm not gonna do nothing like that, because it doesn't bother society. And so what is bothering society in specifically is that telling people that, hey, you're this big and that's okay. And the thing is, people can be big for many different reasons, whether it's genetics or just bulking up in gym. Honestly, you can be called fat in general for many different reasons, and you don't have to have kind of like the most athletic body. Because the thing is, I've seen a lot of people who, from my perspective a long time ago, who I would consider to be fat. And in reality, I was wrong, because I was mostly basing it off like size, when later as I got older, I figured out there was more stuff related in how a person is big, because of genetics and ancestry and all that other stuff. And really, there is no problem with somebody being large. Just remember that. But when it affects your health, then that's when it becomes a problem. I know that because I have health-related issues regarding weight. Throughout the part of this video, she basically ends up describing her experience in middle school when she was ridiculed and made fun of for being, the way that she is. And honestly, when it comes to this in general, it's messed up. I'm just pretty much summarizing this part so that we can just get on to the next topic I specifically want to describe about within the video.
The shame of being picked on for things you're already self-conscious about feels like lava is being poured all over you. And when you experience harassment like this for days, weeks, months on end with no support, it singes your confidence into ashes. 'Cause the world makes it crystal clear that they resent your presence. They will be cruel to you for it. And if you don't like how you're being treated, that's your fault. That's your problem to fix. So you better change how you look, and you better do it fast.
This wasn't even the part I even wanted to explain, but I also want to talk about the situation in general where people do get harassed for certain situations that they're in. And sometimes whenever they go to an adult or some kind of authority, sometimes you don't get the results that you want. And honestly, that sucks. I've been in that situation where you ask people for help and sometimes it just makes the situation worse. And if you're ever in a situation where you are being bullied or harassed because of the way that you look, never once think that you have to change because people are just making fun of the like of like the way that they see you. So here's the thing. So since we're basically talking about the topic of fatness right here, like I've been bullied, for being big. Currently I have like some health related issues. Like I'm not like fat, like big in real life. I'm just like 20 pounds overweight. But even that, because I was so big earlier within my life, it caused me to have health problems as I eventually got older. Because if you haven't noticed, some people can be skinny after being big, but still have like real medical issues related to their bodies of health. And it's because of all the grease and sugar and all the things that we consume in general that can still give us problems, like over the years. If somebody basically makes fun of the things you do, don't change that at all. If somebody makes fun of the way you look, don't change that at all. But if somebody makes fun of a very specific aspect to yourself that may cause some kind of issue, then that's kind of the part when you want to turn that into constructive criticism and do something about it. Like if somebody makes fun of you because you're fat, in certain situations, yeah, you can't change that. But if you are fat and it's to the point that it's causing a health issue, then that's kind of your part to take action into something. At the same time, this does not apply to like being like big in general. This could also apply to other stuff. Like if you're a gamer and like you slouch a lot and people make fun that you're slouching, then maybe that's the time for you to stop slouching, or else you can have problems throughout your life relating to arthritis. Like honestly, when it comes to bullying, when it comes to how I got it before, I realized that okay, yeah, people are just haters to be haters, but sometimes people are giving you like constructive criticism in a really harsh way, and that itself can be enough to help you change your life. And so here's the thing, like I'm not saying that if somebody makes fun of you because you're fat that you have to do all this marathon training or all this like Rocky Balboa type stuff. No, it's like take the information and slowly change what is bothering you and then make a difference. Throughout the part of this whole bit that I'm showing, she basically ends up talking about how like not only that she has been objectified based on her appearance, but same time in how her school also like didn't treat everybody with the same respect regarding and what they wore. And she also talks about in the video and how she felt about wearing certain items and things in general. Honestly, I've seen this before. I've seen a lot of garbage like this before, where the school system can be really unfair with clothing, and it's just terrible.
So, what did I do as a young girl who wasn't confident in her body? I started dieting at the age of 11.
I'm not gonna lie, this could honestly just be me and nitpicking certain things, but I don't understand why she had to like say that so dramatic, like thinking that it's something super crazy and like unnatural. And like I've seen kids who consumed too many of a certain thing to the point that they actually had to switch their diet into something much more healthier in order to have less problems growing up.
I looked over at whatever weight-watching, Jennifer Craig, fitnessing pal, MLM, Facebook scam my parents were up to, and I copied them. Now, was this diet recommended by my doctor? Did I check in with a certified dietitian on a monthly basis? Did I consult with any healthcare professional for this restrictive, shame-based dieting I put myself through to lose enough weight in hopes the bullying would stop? Nope. Which unfortunately is really common for school kids. According to the National Library of Medicine, about 1/2 of teenage girls and 1/4 of teenage boys have tried dieting to change the shape of their body. And of those girls, more than 1 out of 3 were actually at a healthy weight to begin with. And these numbers are wild to me. Teenagers should be focused on getting good grades, hanging out with their friends, and seeing the Timothy Chalamet Willy Wonka movie, not counting calories. Why are kids so body conscious? Why are they getting bullied? Who is teaching them this? Well, we all are, whether we realize it or not. It's called diet culture. According to self.com, diet culture is an entire belief system that associates food with morality and thinness with goodness. And it's rooted in the very colonial belief that every individual has full control and responsibility over their health.
Look, honestly, at most, if you're like over the ages of what, like 12, maybe like what, 13 at most? I could be wrong, but a lot of kids really young, the main reasoning and why people actually like bully people that are fat is mostly because the root of all bullying is usually from stuff that they didn't understand until like much more later throughout life. So look, for an example, I've actually bullied people over things I actually never understood. Like a long time ago, I used to like bully people who just so happens to like the opposite gender or stuff like that in general. I made fun of it. I thought it was weird, and right, like, what do I still have the same like ideals now? No, I mean I don't think that's weird. But like, it's from that root of not understanding something that can form into a prejudice or bias that you can perceive. Like, if you go in an area that's a lot of people who are normally thin, and then you see somebody who is large, seeing that in general can be like an eye opener and a little bit different. As well as that, there are some cultures within the world that eat food differently. Sometimes people eat like really fattening foods. Like, for an example, Mexico actually eats a lot of like calories in general due to the fact it's like kind of built within their dishes. And being half Mexican, I can see how a lot of Mexican foods can be extremely unhealthy. But like, when it comes to that in general, that's like sometimes that stuff you can't change. Like, realistically you can't change how a person eats in their in their household, because it's sometimes it's just rooted into their culture to have certain food dishes or stuff like that, or parental guardians like buying certain foods, because as you're young you don't have really a right to say what do you want to eat sometimes, especially since like it's not your money at the end of the day. It's just pretty much your parents' money. I mean, if you're in the position where you do have the right to say anything you want to eat, I mean, that's cool. Overall, the main summary of what I just said was, people just bully because they don't understand things, and that's kind of where everything roots. I mean, really, it can also be taught by other people as well. Like, for an example, if you're being bullied about a certain thing, the guy who's probably bullying you is probably doing it because another person's doing it. So, like, having people to influence certain biases and beliefs can also be a really like bad reasoning, and how people can start having these biases against a certain person. Basically, around this part, she basically just talks about how some people just can basically lose all their problems by like exercising and all that other stuff, and she eventually talks about her time being in a YouTube streaming awards.
Streamy's red carpet and attend the awards ceremony, which was a blast. But when all the photos came out, I felt that oh so familiar lava flow of shame consume me. I hated how wide my legs were when I posed. I hated that squishy part under my chin that stuck out when I smiled. And I felt awful knowing that I had to order that dress online because they didn't have my size in store. But most of all, I hated the way I looked because I knew I was the heaviest weight I had ever been in my entire life. In fact, I was 15% heavier than I was when I got bullied in middle school. But now, I have a YouTube channel. I have millions of eyes on me at all times, especially when I show my face and don't hide behind this cartoon character. And let me tell you, the things people say in that comment section about how you look can feel just like middle school.
I actually saw a picture of the dress itself, and honestly, I can see why she probably had some of these self-doubts. The dress doesn't really help her case, to be honest. I've seen this YouTuber like face reveal and all that other stuff, and personally, I don't see them as large at all. Then again, this can vary from person to person, but I don't see them as big. Really, it honestly just sounds like that this person is just working out because they think that their body shape is unhealthy, even though that throughout the video she actually does go to doctors and stuff and saying that her health is fine. And honestly, when it comes to like working out, like if you want to do it to like get a very specific body goal, then yeah, sure, that's fine. That's cool. But like, if you're doing it and like you can kind of see how you're not that big, I'm not saying that you don't need to work out, but it's not something you should heavily focus if you are perfectly healthy already. I also want to mention in how she basically complains about how the dress wasn't her size, and then she had to get one online. Honestly, look, okay, I'm just gonna like point this out because I don't know if I've been specifically solid from the start. With everything I'm saying, I'm not saying it to be rude, and I'm really sorry if it came out that way, but I'm trying to say everything to point out the realism. And if anybody is going through these issues, that to like look at these with like a more open eyes. When it comes to clothing that just doesn't fit you, that's mostly because that a lot of clothing related manufacturers don't for some reason accurately like do sizes right. Like for some pants I wear, they're different sizes than the other ones, and same thing applies to shoes. I have like 3 pairs of shoes and they're all different sizes. And this is just because it's just a manufacturer who just be like making stuff in this really weird way. So if you ever have to buy something a little bit more bigger or like a little bit more smaller, like don't worry about it because like stuff being too big and too small, it's just like a thing that people make like by accident. Like for an example, like you can be medium for like shirts, but certain shirts you wear from certain companies or whatever can be too big or too small. That doesn't mean that you are big or small, but it's just like a clothing issue that just be happening. She also mentions how she's more heavier than how she is in middle school, and this is an extremely common thing because how many of us are still the same size as middle school? Like, in order to be the same size as you were in middle school would be kind of concerning due to the fact how that's kind of irregular, how you can be almost that light depending on your size at like around that time. But like let's say for an example, I weigh like what 140 in like in middle school. How could I still be the same weight as then as I grew and got older, and as well as more muscle and weight expanded more to the around my body? Like I have never seen a situation where people have been the same way as they were in middle school. And I mean, I don't know. I mean, if you guys have seen anything like that before, I guess put it in the comments because I'd be interested in like hearing that. Yeah, let's just continue.
So, what did I do as a young woman who wasn't confident in her body? I started dieting. I found a gym, I found a personal trainer, and I got to work. And after a month of working out for 3 days a week, 45 minutes at a time, doing cardio, abs, arms, legs, as well as going to cycling and or yoga class once a week for an hour, I lost 0 pounds? How? I was doing everything right. Calories in, calories out, more greens, less takeout, gym membership, personal trainer. This made no sense. Unless, maybe I just wasn't working hard enough. Maybe I wasn't serious enough. Maybe it just wasn't good enough. And I was too far gone to be fixed.
Now, I'm going to say this part with a really extreme serious face. And honestly, I actually kind of want to laugh while hearing that. Not because I want it to be mean or anything, or just to like belittle something. But I wanted to laugh because I've been in the same situation where I felt like that everything I'm doing related to working out has not been good enough. And it's mostly because that if you're having these issues and like you need to work out, like just doing it for like a month at least, which is like the same amount of time that this YouTuber has done their workout process, you're not gonna see a lot of stuff within a month because at most it takes 9 months to like, well, for an example, to build muscle. To lose weight, and specifically, I'm pretty sure it would be like at least like half of that. Like instead of 9 months, it'd be like what, maybe like 3, like 4. Depending, then again, it also depends on like your weight in general. Like, I've seen I've seen the body size of this YouTuber, and she's not big. But honestly, if she has a goal, realistically, it should take like 2 to 3 months, to be honest. For the goal that they want to reach. And honestly, if you ever feel like that you're not doing well enough, you have to understand that people's bodies are different. So losing weight and burning calories happens at a different pace due to metabolism. And honestly, when it comes to that, working out is not going to be your best friend when it comes to like firmly losing weight and all that stuff. It can also be just changing your diet in general. And changing your diet doesn't mean that you fully have to eat greens and all that other stuff. It can also be just eating less in general. Like if you go to McDonald's, instead of getting like a double quarter pounder with bacon, combo meal, you could just get like a cheeseburger with like small fries and like a Sprite. Like eating that, yeah, in general is like still unhealthy due to the fact you're getting food from McDonald's. But overall, it's less fattening that you be giving yourself to be damaging your body. So like eat proportionally, basically, because you don't want to overeat yourself, or you don't want to eat things that contain too much carbs and like fats and all that other junk, because that could just mess yourself up. Like, and honestly, even when it comes to cheat days, like I've done cheat days, but I have overdone cheat days itself. You know, if you're working out and have like a plan and stuff, instead of drinking like a milkshake because you're like, ah man, I really need that, or like I really need that milkshake, man, I'm just sick of eating all this healthy crap. You could just at most just make yourself a smoothie, and that would not only be refreshing, but would taste more better. To be honest, like I'm more of a smoothie person than a milkshake person, so like I can say that with like an open heart. But yeah, overall, just like don't ever feel bad that you can't just like lose everything like super fast, because a month just to lose weight is like nothing. Like the time and process, it's longer than what y'all think. But anyways, yeah, let's just keep going.
But my personal trainer assured me that I was doing great. I might not have seen the scale move or felt like my clothes fit better, but from her perspective, she noticed an improvement in my posture. She saw my energy and endurance had increased too. Even the way I talked about life, I was noticeably less stressed. And although I did agree with her, my back wasn't hurting as much, I was getting better sleep, and my mood did recover faster when she did hit the fan. I told her thank you for the reassurance, but I still didn't like how I looked, and I was scared I never would. But she assured me I just needed to keep at it and have faith in myself. And besides, it had only been a month. Surely soon I'd know. 2 months of diet and exercise, no change on the scale. And I had worked my way up to jogging a mile easily on the treadmill, doing crunches and sit-ups for a minute straight. I was even starting to match my personal trainer's strength, and we worked out side by side. And she told me to keep at it. Don't look at the scale. Just focus on how working out makes you feel, not how it makes you look. So
I'm pretty sure we can all agree the whole gaslighting is extremely high with this one, because look, when you work out, yeah, there's benefits. But if you're coming in and having, and also paying someone for a very specific goal, and this goal is losing weight, and they talk about, your posture, the way that you talk, all this is a good boost from all your exercise stuff. Yeah, that's cool and all, but it's not what I signed up and what I'm spending money for. Like, don't you understand how that in general is kind of weird and concerning to begin with? And honestly, like, yeah, like, you're not gonna see anything in 2 months. Like, what, maybe? Kind of depends on your situation, but for this situation specifically, if you're paying something and you're not getting it, what's the point of paying? Like, is it just me, or what? I'm not gonna lie, I feel like I lost like 5 brain cells when it came to that whole thing. In this whole bit, she just talks about how she having like dizziness and fatigue from working out, and this can honestly be because of just maybe you're just overdoing it and you're just becoming more tired by doing it. So maybe having a couple of days of just like rest could like help, to be honest. Like, I'm no professional, but I'm just giving like some advice. Okay, so now in this bit, she basically talks about how she's been doing exercise much more lighter, and then it's been, well, from the end of this bit, it's been 4 months, and she has not lost a single, pound. And honestly, that's kind of concerning if you're doing all this stuff, supposedly, like, consistently, and you haven't made any progress. Like, that itself is just concerning. And she actually went to doctors and all this other stuff to see what was the problem. There was no problem. She even says how she even went to go see a dietitian. And usually dietitians don't know what is, like, good that would help you specifically. That's why that they would say that this stuff is the stuff that they recommend, because even they have no idea what your issue could be in specifically.
Illy, you need to be patient. Losing weight is a lifestyle change. You have to be serious and committed to it if you really want to lose weight. And you probably weren't losing weight because you weren't doing enough high-intensity interval training. No, she needs to be doing strength training if she wants to lose weight. No, she needs to eat more protein to lose weight. Actually, someone with her BMI should probably lose weight by— No. You guys are missing the point. I'm sure there's some other workout routine I could do to lose weight. I know if I cut out some major food groups and restricted myself to a specific number of something every meal, I could lose weight. And I don't doubt the fact that there could be 1,000,001 tests and medical possibilities to explain why my body and so many others have such a difficult time losing weight. Maybe there's some diagnosis we overlooked. Maybe there's a different way I should be doing this. Or maybe, just maybe, this was proof that all the workouts I was doing was enough. Maybe this was proof that all my body really needed was a little more stretching, a little more strength, and a nice walk every now and then to make me feel better. And maybe, as weird as it may sound, maybe this was proof that my body and other people's bodies don't need to be less fat to be considered healthy. Which I know sounds crazy. We've been told our entire lives that you can't be healthy if you're fat. Yet here I am, at the heaviest I've ever been in my entire life, categorically overweight and well within middle school mocking range, but also the healthiest I've ever been, according to multiple doctors.
And according to every single atom in my brain, what did I just hear? Because, okay, so, where do I even start? Okay, so first of all, this YouTuber is not even big, okay? I've said this before, I don't see them as that big. But then again, varies from whatever. Like, same time, they even said that they're big enough to be made fun in middle school again. Like, I don't understand what that fully means and whatever. But point is, yeah, she probably is doing something wrong within her diet or like working out. That is probably the reasoning for this in general. But if you come in having a goal and then you leave with a different reward than what you were coming for, then you're paying your trainer to do absolutely nothing besides to completely gaslight you in how you feel. And the amount of money wasted is crazy. And the amount of time wasted is also more crazy by not needing to really go to all these doctor stuff to begin with. I'm just shocked. And honestly, if you guys haven't noticed, or maybe I haven't said this enough in the video, you can be big and healthy at the same time. Like, it's not that crazy. But like, what is this? Like, what? Okay, this whole part is just yapping about something, to be honest. If you guys are really interested in seeing like what this part I'm like voicing over really is, you could just watch the original video. But I'm assuming a lot of you guys are not here to watch the original video. No, you guys are here just to hear what I have to say. And I'm gonna play the clip.
When it comes to food, that same logic should apply. A carrot isn't an inherent good food, while chocolate is an inherent bad food. Food is just food, no matter how many calories, carbs, sugars, whatever is in it. Unless you have life-threatening allergies or dietary restrictions to follow, you should feel free to eat whatever food you want to without beating yourself up about it.
In all reality, food is food, yes. And food does contain different calories depending what you eat in specifically. But if the message is eat whatever you want, what lesson is that? I mean, honestly, yeah, realistically, I can just eat whatever I want. Like, for an example, if I want to eat, like, 12 chocolate cakes, I mean, nobody's gonna tell me no, like, honestly. But, like... Okay, hold up. I need to calm down. If your point is that anybody can eat what they want, regardless of any health-related issues that they have, you are literally promoting obesity in that function itself. And then again, it's mostly related to people having specific health problems, since, yes, a lot of fat people do tend to have really severe health problems. But if you go and tell them, hey, eat whatever you want, because you can, well, yeah, realistically they can, but I don't think promoting a thing that could hurt somebody is a good thing to be promoting. Like what is that? Okay, I'm just gonna like summarize this end bit because this is just, oh my god. Okay, so basically, don't be mean to fat people. Like, it's really not that hard. And honestly, if you do care about somebody's health, I mean, yeah, pointing it out does, it is kind of a way of showing, but the way that you're saying it could come out as, hurtful. And I know that saying these hurtful things, it's supposed to be like for a good reasoning, for a good cause and whatever, but you have to be a little bit more empathetic in how that can actually hurt somebody. Like, I mean, honestly, I don't know the whole process of just like telling somebody, hey, eat less. I mean, I don't know that. I really don't know how to approach that in a non-hurtful way. But yeah, as well as she talks about, how she is feeling all of this pain about her, her looks and whatever, and all her, regrets. And honestly, that is like something that you guys should never do. You guys should never feel less about the way that you look or anything unless you can connect it to a severe health problem. Like, if you're fat but you're healthy, okay, you know, that's fine. That's fine. If you want to work out to gain a very specific physique, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. But if you are having an issue, like a really severe health problem, then that's to the point that it's not fine that you should take action into it. And honestly, I really don't know how to end this video. Besides, you know, love yourself and take care of yourself. Because if you don't, it can really get into a bad situation. And I would not want that for any of you guys. You know, I love every single person who's watching this video. Even, you know, and same time, even to all the people who are even complaining as well about the video itself that I'm currently doing, I still love them regardless. Because, you know, it's every single viewer who is watching this that gives me not only a reason to upload stuff, but also a reason to try to show you guys more of the truth that I kind of want to be doing sometimes on YouTube. I kind of want to be more heart to heart, more mind to mind in these kind of situation and conversations. But yeah, watch my other videos, like and subscribe, and yeah, that's pretty much just it. Bye.